The following video is probably going to piss some people off, and it probably won't piss anyone off. Who really knows? Hello everyone, my name is Moon. Today we're going to be talking about something that I've kind of been feeling when it comes to the current state of the world. That's really, I want to give my opinion on AI. I cannot stand the use of AI, mainly due to the fact that AI itself is a good concept, but the problem with the use of AI is that we're too reliant on it. So if you're a PC gamer like myself, you have been hearing the same words over and over these past few months. Remageddon, that's SSDs and NVMe's have been in shortage and high demand. GPUs have gone up, all because of AI data centers. Now, if you haven't heard of that, well, welcome to what it's like living in the PC world. PC world is an amazing place, except when people are assholes and want to make every single part of owning a PC terrible. Now, don't get me wrong. What some people have used AI for has been actually pretty good, and the intent of using AI has been to help people out. However, those are individuals. The companies that run AI, or the companies that exclusively want to do AI, have made it a living hell. What do I mean? Well, like I was saying about computer parts, ever heard of a brand called Nvidia? Yeah, they don't give a fuck about their consumers anymore. They're customers. They're small guy like us, meaning me, you, and other PC gamers. They have only been caring about doing anything and everything AI, all because that's where the money is at. And I say money in quotes because as of January of 2026, there was a statement from, I don't know what AI company, or if it was maybe Nvidia themselves, but they were expected to lose over $14 billion because of AI. Lose money. Not get money back, but lose it. It's actually fucking wild to think that people who used to be for gamers, that was always supportive of doing things of gamers, basically told them to eat shit, and that the wave of the future is now, and it's going to involve AI. AI has to be in fucking everything nowadays. The other day I was looking at TVs. I'm not for myself, but for someone that I know, because I was trying to help them out because they were asking for a new TV, and I told them, don't get a new TV. You want to get something that's kind of old. And they asked me why, and I told them, because every fucking new TV has to have AI in it. If you don't know about some of the newer technologies when it comes to things, they all have this AI assistant in them, which cannot be disabled, which cannot be gotten rid of. You have to have it on there, unless you are really smart and you know how to jailbreak your shit. But I hate how everything has to be anything has to be done with AI. To me, it's one of the stupidest things ever. And like I said, I get it. Some people use AI for the way it should have been intended, to help humanity, not control it. I remember back in the day when Terminator was a huge movie. Everyone was afraid of the future because they're like, oh, robots going to take over. And then people started saying the AI uprising will happen. They'll take control of us. We'll basically be nothing. And then we'll need a John Connor to save us. I was always under the assumption that there's no absolute way AI would be able to take us over. Mainly due to the fact AI is fucking stupid. With AI, you can control it and manipulate it the way you want it. What do I mean by that? I literally mean you can tell AI, hey, 1 + 1 is 5. Over and over and over again. And then eventually, when enough people have said that, It's like, oh yeah, I've heard it once or twice that 1 plus 1 is in fact 5. That data can be altered, and all data can be altered, obviously, but AI itself is pretty dumb and will do it after a little persuasion. That being said, I was always under the assumption that there's no possible way that we would be taken over by AI, and I've never been worried about it. However, I never came to the fact or the realization that the AI uprising has already happened, and it was done by us as people. There was no alternative motive for a robot to take consciousness. There was no, oh, robots are going to take over and we're going to be human slaves. No. The AI uprising has happened because humanity has led it. My thought is this for AI. The reason AI has been such a hype and big corporations have been spending millions and billions of dollars into making it more advanced is because they're trying to cover up truth. Yes, put on your conspiracy hat, ladies and gentlemen. We're going deep in this. So, as of late, if you have heard, the Epstein files were released. I haven't heard anything about them, and that's for another video. Because I have some things I have some more darker things that I need to talk about, and it's not related to those files, but it's also kind of I'd rather put it out there on that one instead of this one, because this is primarily just about AI. But the Epstein files were released, and a lot of horrendous things happened. Here's the issue with it. My thought is this. With the introduction of AI and people using it over and over to change the outcome of a video or do anything like that, it's going to get to the point where AI is going to control what happens when someone goes to court. That being said, for things that happen within Epstein files, my thought is this. People are going to say and claim that it's AI. And I know there are ways you can tell if something is AI when it comes to the way things look. And then if it looks too real, it's obviously you have to look at the source code. And there's people that's going to always do that. They're always going to look at the code itself. However, do you think courts really give a fuck about that? Especially when it comes to people who are in power? No. They're going to look at it and just be like, oh, he said it's AI. We're going to take it as that. We're all going to believe it's AI. Eventually, it's going to get to the point where anything that is labeled AI is going to get impermissible in court. So you have people doing horrendous things on video or CCTV, and they're going to claim it's AI. And here's what they could do. They could run it through just a filter on AI. Or maybe it makes the video just a little bit hazier, but it still shows them doing it. That's not me, that's AI. And then when people go in to look at the source code, if it was to actually be that way, they'd be like, yeah, there's definitely some AI stuff in here. The judge is going to look at everyone and be like, all right, that evidence is no more. It's fake. We're not going to worry about it. It's never going to come back to the light of day. Meaning people will get whatever scot-free. My thought is maybe that's the reason why AI has been hitting off. They knew something like this was going to happen eventually, or they knew that this thing was going to happen. So they said, let's beat people to the punch. Let's claim that all of this was AI, or parts of it are AI. Like I stated in the beginning, I have no idea what's actually in the files because I don't give a fuck to go look at it. I just know that there have been horrendous things. Mainly because I know politicians. I know how they work. That's not me saying I'm a politician. I would never fucking want to go into politics. Politics is one of the stupid things ever. But that's not the point of today's video. The point of today's video is to let people know that whether you like it or not, there's a whole reason that AI is here. And it's not to help humanity anymore. Maybe in the beginning, the thought process was, hey, we can do it. But AI is not going to be Terminators. It's not going to be robotic, what do you call it? Apocalypses. The one you should worry about for that would be GI, but that's a whole different topic. My thought is pretty dumb, and like I said, it sounds more like a conspiracy theory, and I understand that. But it's something I've been thinking about for quite a while, and I didn't know how to like put it to words until I started like thinking more on it. That's why I said put your tinfoil hats on, because this could be a conspiracy theory that might not be true, might be true. Like all conspiracy theories, they may or may not be true. I myself don't believe really in any conspiracy theories, but this one I would 100% believe in, just because humanity is evil. With everything having to have AI though nowadays, there is no being anonymous anymore. I myself have always tried to keep a low profile when it comes to being online. I have a lot of different social medias, but I don't ever use my name on there. Mainly just due to the fact that, you know, I've just done that. It's always been my thing. Even before AI, I just never really gave a fuck about like my name being on the internet. When I sign up for things, I never use my real ID. Like my name, my age, and all that shit. But here's the issue with it. And within recently, if you've also heard the debacle with Discord's age verifications, they're always saying it's for the children, that it's for the kids, to protect them online. And then that's that. There's no ulterior motive. Well, you're also like me who keeps up to date with shit like that. You also heard that one of the things that Discord is using for ID verification had a huge data breach that was just left out in the open. Discord themselves was like, well, no, that wasn't supposed to happen. Let's get rid of them as partners, but the damage has already been done. Discord used to be one of the best places to actually like kind of hang out. Like, yeah, it was a little unhinged back in the day. I mean, everything is when it starts out. And it was an escape of what TeamSpeak, because that used to be the huge, big thing. And people were like, oh, TeamSpeak will never die. And then it died because they failed to update their stuff to fit more people, more modernized things. Discord took over the world with it, and it was amazing. But then, Discord decided to be controlled by companies, not the people who made it, but the companies of the world. And I know that sounds dumb. With this whole age verifications, it's a dumb process because it's not actually going to save and protect anyone. The whole idea of protecting the children should not rely on every single fucking person in the world to do it. I myself don't have any kids. However, I also know to not let my kids do some of the shit that they get to do. Growing up, one of the big things that I distinctly remember, even though I have memory issues, was we would get hits. We would get spanks. We'd get spankins. Whatever you want to fucking call it. Spanks, spankins. I've heard people call them spanks. Even though I feel like that sounds more like a pair of jeans. Yo, some kick-ass spanks, man. Thanks, homie. Anyway. Kids used to be disciplined to the point where they knew right from wrong. But now, it seems like the opposite has happened. Kids don't know right from wrong anymore. Not to mention, they get to do shit that I never thought I would be able to do until I was an adult. You have kids nowadays that watch adult content. You have kids nowadays that play mature games. And that's the thing with like AI. AI is such a stupid concept that you uploading an ID to an AI little bot that's like, oh, this is a real person or this is an underage person and shit like that. It's so stupid. The way Discord is doing it is by far one of the stupidest things that they could ever do. But, you know, it's Discord, so they're going to be pretty stupid about it. Age verification was never about just children. It was more about knowing people, knowing the control. It got to the point where Discord was losing so much money, they had to come out and be like, oh, hey, actually, so don't worry about age verification because we've already had an AI unit in Discord the entire time tracking like how people act and talk and all this other thing. So do not worry. Please come back. I used to be a Nitro person because I would send a lot of big things over Discord, mainly for myself so I could like pull it up off my phone and be like, all right, here's this file. Cool. But I got rid of my Nitro. I think a lot of people did when Discord said, we're doing this, age verification. The cool thing about humanity, though, in AI, especially with age verification, there's always going to be a way to get by it. Whether it be fake IDs or, as apparently some people use for something that involved like a face ID, they used it from a video game. I think it was Death Stranding. Don't quote me on that. It could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I remember hearing someone say, oh yeah, kids were using the faces of like a character or characters from the game Death Stranding to bypass this age verification or this face ID to do something. We're humans. We're going to be crafty as fuck just because someone told us we can't. However, with AI having to be in everything, especially shit like Discord, it's a problem. I can't tell you how many times like I've been on Discord and just felt like something was off. Now, obviously, I'm not over here saying bad things on Discord. Well, my interpretation of bad and probably someone else's are two different things. I'm not saying things that should be considered bad, but also, I'm also not being PG. I regularly say the words like fuck you, cunt, shit like that, because I'm not afraid of words. And I know that's a huge thing that people are always getting mad about is words. And I get that some words shouldn't be said, but at the same time, it's just words. You have the right to say them, regardless of what country you're in and all that. That's just, more government controlling. But that's not the point of today's video. With Discord doing this AI verification, or this ID verification with AI using it, it's just another step in the fucking trench that we keep building, the foxhole of our own making, because we keep letting shit like that happen. Not only with that, and like I was saying earlier with newer technology, it has to have AI in it. The same thing has been happening with Microsoft as of late. Microsoft has been throwing AI down everyone's throats. Microsoft used to be really good for their operating system, but now it seems like every time there's an update, it affects everything that you've ever done. There's always a new AI unit on there. You can't disable it, and it's always there. And here's the thing. I don't give a fuck what these big companies want to do. Like, if they want to burn bridges to the point like this, go for it. But there's always going to be someone who's going to come out and be like, you know what? I'm finally tired of it. Now, obviously, I'm a fucking nobody. So my voice is just a little squeak within the world as we know it. But I know big content creators may one day be like, I'm tired of AI. AI's gotten to the point where it's all over my fucking phone. I can't tell you how much I love my Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. It's a really good phone. I know. Oh, this guy has an Android? Boo, your opinion's invalid. Apple's better. Apple sucks. But here's the issue with it. I have a stupid little side passion for taking photos. I always wanted to do stuff with photography. I always thought it was going to be a really cool thing. But, people gave it kind of a bad rep and it's like, uh-oh, this guy's going to do photos. He's so cool. Because, I always was in the understanding that taking photos was cool, but then people ruined it with phones. Be like, oh yeah, I'm a photographer, and takes it with their phones. Now, obviously, I take a lot of photos with my phone because I don't have a camera. I've always wanted a camera, but I also don't know what type of camera I should get. And there's a lot of like different brands. But anytime I have taken a picture with my phone, AI goes in and fucks with it, and I hate it. It makes shit that's supposed to be dark lighter. It makes things look better. It makes the light look colorful, when in fact I don't want it to be that way. You probably have noticed that if you have any recent phones that have had that. If you've taken a photo where it was in the dark, but you're like, oh yeah, this looks pretty cool. And then when you look at it, it looks lighter, brighter even. Welcome to AI. Everything has to have AI and I fucking hate it. And it's so terrible to the point where when I'm scrolling on my fucking phone sometimes, there's always this ad or ads for using an AI chatbot or have a romantic date with an AI chatbot. Or my favorite ones, because I have friends that send me shit, and then, you know, because of the whole AI and algorithm, how that works, I get sent this fucking weird ass fucking furry AI bullshit. I'm not a fucking furry. I don't care if you're a furry, but here's the issue with it. Why the fuck am I getting these like big tittied furried animals as an AI chatbot and be like, come talk to me. You know you are gonna love it. Here's the thing. I'm not gonna love it. I'm not gonna fucking talk to an AI about anything romantic. I'm not that type of person. I know there's people out there that do it, and listen, you do you. I'm not gonna judge you for it. Well, I lie. I'm gonna fucking judge the hell out of you for it. But why is that shit to be crammed down my throat? Because it's AI. And I know what you were saying, but Moon, doesn't the algorithm go off of what you look at? Sometimes it's true. Yes, that is very true. But when you have friends that send you shit that's on your phone, saved on the brain chip, CPU, I know what it is, but the brain or the chip of your phone. So when you are looking at it, your phone's like, oh, so they like this or they're into this. Got it. And then they proceed on recommending more shit like that. Like I said, AI is such a stupid thing to have in every single thing. And there's people out there who will agree with me that AI is stupid. And I also know there's going to be people out there that's going to be like, you're stupid. AI is the best thing ever. The amount of time I see people using AI pictures for like profile shit and all that, I'm like, okay, that's cool. It's not like terrible. But I also know there are people that make money off of drawing shit, like commissioners. And again, I know a lot of those commissioners usually make furry art. I will respect the furry artists because, well, honestly, some of the shit they make is cool. Minus the more adult related stuff. That's a little weird, but also it's still impressive because there's people that are willing to pay like $2,000 for shit like that. I don't know. Anyway. And I understand that there's like a whole movement of stopping AI from taking commissioners' jobs when it comes to artwork. I fully understand that and I fully support that. And I know it sounds like I'm bashing on everyone who uses fucking AI, and to an extent, I kind of am. But there's a difference between just using it for like shits and giggles. Like you see some of those videos of dogs or cats ringing a doorbell, playing music, and then blowing the fuck out of someone with fire, brimstone, water, you know. But then you have people who treat AI as a fucking tool of law. They're so reliant on it that they don't know what's real, what's fake anymore. That they believe everything that comes from AI is real. And it's not. I know that sounds stupid and it makes me sound like an old fucking piece of shit, but it's true. It's very true, actually. One of these days, people are going to realize the negative effects that AI has actually had on us, but it's not going to be for a while. Prices for computers are going to go up. There's going to be a lot more heinous shit that happens, and people are going to blame AI for it because they don't know what's real and what's fake. I know that sounds stupid, And like I said earlier, and I'm saying it again, it sounds like a big old conspiracy. But honestly, sometimes conspiracies come true for a reason. And this isn't even one that I've seen people talk about. But then again, I'm not actively looking for this shit because I live under a rock. I don't care about anyone else but myself. I want people to be happy. I want them to have fun. But I also want them to be knowledgeable and safe about shit. Regardless of what your opinions and thoughts are on the matter of AI, you're allowed to have them. And what's funny is I know someone is probably, oh, what happens when AI uprising has happened? They're gonna come after you because you said you hate AI. Okay. Oh well. Either I die from AI or they enslave me into doing something that I'm not gonna like. So like, what's your beef? But the funny thing is, AI's already happened. The uprising already happened, and it's humanity's own fault. No matter what we build, we will always build it to destroy us. We will always destroy ourselves. For better or for worse, us as humanity is already fucked. Whether it be because we're doing heinous things, whether it's because we're doing nice things, or whether it's because we're just bored. We will always destroy ourselves. Mentally, physically, emotionally, sexually, spiritually. It doesn't matter. But it's not too late. It's not too late. There comes a point in time when people will come to realize that, all right, maybe AI in everything is stupid. It's like how everything has to have an app. I hate that so much that everything has to have an app. And half the time when I use an app that I actually like, especially food apps, because I mean, I'm already going there, so why not use an app for it, just for it? You know, in case, oh, I finally spent enough money to get back a little bit of what I've spent over the years. The fact that now these apps are AI overhauled and the interfaces all look the same and they act stupid. It's just because, well, money. It's always funny when people say the root of evil is money. Of all evil is money. And it's true. But then those same people are always saying that money doesn't change you. Or money doesn't bring happiness. Those people have never been filled with of not knowing when they're going to eat next, or knowing, hey, I've been wearing the same outfit for 10 years because, you know, shit's expensive. I've always laughed about that because it's usually people who have millions of dollars who say shit like that money doesn't bring happiness. I could tell you 100% with just an extra $10,000, I'd be happy. I mean, $100,000, happy to. Hell, the most money that I would want right now, tax-free, that I know would help me, $250,000, $250,000. After that, I don't give a fuck about having any extra money. I mean, yeah, extra money would be nice, but I'm not looking to be, oh yes, I have millions of dollars. And I sure as hell wouldn't want to grab it from AI. But for something that's, you know, subjectively lost $14 billion, I don't know if I would even invest in shit like that. And I'm not even an investor. I don't invest in shit because, you know, it's just what it is. Anyway, that's all the time I got for the day's episode. I know that I'm trying to get back into making content, and this was one of those kind of weird ones to kind of throw at people, but I've been feeling this way towards it, so I figured, why not? Why not? Anyway, my name is Moon. If you want to see more content like this and other things that I got planned in the future, there is a button down there, and it's called the subscribe button. You can hit it if you want to. I'm not going to force you to do it. It'd be nice to get my voice out there and become stronger. I do have a goal, though, of getting at least 1,000 people before the end of 2028. I know, it's like 2 years from now. Time's going to fly by quick. So if you want to help support the channel, please do so. And if you want to see more, like I said, feel free to hit the subscribe button. But I'm not forcing you to. And I'm not going to beg for a like, because you either like it or you don't. But it does help the YouTube algorithm push me out to other people. Or should I say, the AI algorithm. Yeah, I know. Funny how that works. Me asking you to do it, it's going to be like, oh, well now I guess he's going to have the AI help him. No. Anyway, my name is Moon. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.